Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. Look, I keep hearing people saying Errol Spence may be brain damaged. Errol Spence could be suffering from early signs of Parkinson's disease. Talking about Errol Spence has a slurred speech. Now, I'm going to tell you two things, right? The first thing is, hey, he's from Dallas, Texas. He will openly tell you that he's just a country boy. And he talks with that typical Southern drawl you find in a lot of people who are from the South. Not everybody has it like that. Some a little more extreme than others. And Errol Spence has always, to me, been the kind of, you got to almost check his pulse. Real laid back, easygoing, slow talking type guy. But I did notice during the press conferences with Terrence Crawford that it seemed to me that Errol Spence was, he sounded a bit more Southern, like the draw. And maybe because he was talking a bit more, it did seem, I did notice that maybe it seemed like he had slowed just a bit, you know what I'm saying? But I didn't think much of like him being punch drunk, brain damage, Parkinson. Just, he's from Dallas, Texas, country boy, that's how they talk. But now I'm seeing different tweets pop up and people talk about it in videos that Errol Spence is suffering signs of brain damage, taking too many shots to the head, and too much hard sparring. Could be signs of the car accident. And I don't know if I agree with that. Now, I'm not a medical expert. I'm not a speech pathologist. I don't know. I don't think I've noticed any obvious change in his speech pattern. But what I will tell you is, when it comes to Errol Spence, I think people just need to hold their horses and not get carried away. I don't know if people are just looking for, content when they're posting on Twitter, if they're looking for content and videos they're creating, or if they're looking for content, or they're just looking to a smear campaign for Errol Spence to try to add a little pizzazz to Spence and Crawford, and to just, help to promote the fight a bit more in a more negative way, in my opinion. I don't know. But you guys, leave it in your comments below if you think there's something that stands out to you about Errol Spence and his speech. Because I'm going to be honest with you, I haven't seen anything that would make me say something's wrong with him. Now, I'm going to tell you, I did look at a video a few months ago when Shane Mosley was doing an interview. And I did a video saying, man, Shane Mosley is showing signs of possible, the effects of taking those shots to the head over his career. But then someone told me, nah, he's just drunk. And I didn't know that Shane Mosley drank alcohol. Anyway, I've watched some other videos of Shane Mosley since then, and he doesn't sound anything like that. So I would suspect that maybe Shane Mosley may have been intoxicated. I was a little surprised, but at the same time, I'm glad to know that it wasn't the signs of just wear and tear from being in the ring. Kind of like with Adrian Broner. I saw a comment about Adrian Broner and somebody saying, nah, Adrian Broner, in an interview that went viral, saying he wasn't drunk. He's just suffering signs of brain damage from the punches he's taking in the ring. First of all, Adrian Broner didn't take a lot of damage in the ring, although it only takes one shot, but come on now. And secondly, he was obviously inebriated. So what are we talking about? And with Errol Spence, I'm not seeing how a person can arrive to that at that conclusion. That being said, even Derrick James, he talks slow too. You watch Derrick James interviews back when he was younger, when he was a pro boxer. He sounded a little bit different, but I'm not sure I want to sit there now and kind of categorize Errol Spence's speech as someone who's punch drunk. I mean, come on now. I even saw, what made me do a video is, I can't remember what video I was listening to or what I saw. Somebody mentioned something about his speech. And I was like, what are they talking about? Then I go on Twitter today and I'm skimming over it because, I'm super busy. But I saw this guy Rick Glacier talking about Errol Spence and Errol Spence's speech, and I was like, what in the world are these people talking about? So I'm not a bandwagonist. I don't recommend anyone else become a bandwagonist, but I'm just being honest with you. I'm not seeing it. I'm just not seeing it. Errol Spence, brain damage. Just talk slow, man. A lot of people from the South do, man. Hell, I tell you what, if they were to come down South and they were to talk and interview a lot of people who are from the country, you'll see, you almost can't understand a damn thing they say because of that Southern draw. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to understand a lot of people who are from the South, especially from the country, man. It's hard to understand them. But they speak in English. They just talk slow. That being said, stop creating all the panic, all the consternation about Errol Spence and his speech. Errol Spence isn't a guy who's suffering from any kind of damage or anything that I can see. But again, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a speech pathologist. And one thing I'll say is I pray and hope that even 15 years down the road, 50 years down the road, the rest of his life, no signs of any of that stuff shows up, because I just think that would be horrible for Errol Spence, man. Any boxer would have to go through that, you know. So let's try to be more positive, you know. I'm not saying to be optimistic and not realistic, but let's not just throw crap to the wind now. Let there be some substance to it. But right now, I'm not seeing it. That being said, y'all keep cool. Shout out to the veterans on 7 continents. In the breeze.